What is your name and when did you get your first tattoo?
My name is Jennae, and I got my first tattoo, when I was 16. So 22 years ago.
Okay. 22 years ago?
I'm 38. I'll be 39 this year.
I wasn't even born then when you
I
got
know,
your first
right?
tattoo.
Fucking old as shit, bro.
No.
I'm old as shit.
How long have you been tattooing?
Ooh, so this is a fun question. So I have technically been tattooing just over 20 years. I started when I was 18. I got my first machine, started tattooing my friends, doing all that kind of thing. But I didn't really, I got my first apprenticeship when I was about 22, 23. And then I got pregnant. And unfortunately, almost 20 years ago, being an artist wasn't necessarily the career that it is now. And so being a young mom and doing all of that, I unfortunately had to put some stuff down for a bit and get an air quotes like real job. And so that was one of the main reasons that I've been bartending in the service industry while that was all going down and doing that for over 20 years. But I just kind of relied heavily on that and just kind of dabbled in and out through that. And then I would say I got back into it full time about 2 years ago.
Wow.
Where I was actually able to say, you know what, enough is enough. Both of my kids are old enough to be in school. Like, it's my turn to actually do like what I want to do. And so, yeah, I would say the last 2 years I have actually been a full-time artist and a part-time bartender.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing a lot. So, especially with your kids going on.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever think you would return back to tattooing?
It was always on the list, but I'm not going to lie. It was definitely starting to become like more far away.
Yeah.
Like as time went on, like even with, COVID happened and I went back to school for the medical field. And I was actually going to apply to the radiology program. I had done all my prereqs and gotten that all done. And then I decided to take the summer off because that's when the program would start and just finish up my associates, which is why I was able to take 2 semesters of electives. And when I took the art classes is when I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Medical school, medical classes, the medical profession, that will always be there. But sometimes you just got to shoot that shot, which is what I did.
There are a lot of people, especially in college, new college students, they're getting tattoos. And a lot of the times they don't really know what they're looking for or who they need to go to. So say you have someone, who's a little bit younger and they ask, what do I look for in a tattoo artist?
That's actually a really great question. So portfolios are always the thing that I suggest that you look into. Not because their portfolio is, like let's say I'm looking for, I'm just going to go off of this thigh tattoo, a cute, creepy bat, right? It doesn't mean that I have to find an artist who only does cute, creepy things. I just need to aesthetically enjoy what they put on the skin. And so I always recommend that people check out portfolios first. And I call it, it probably sounds a little cheesy or cringy to come from me, but like it's a vibe check. Are you, do you like their art? Are you drawn to their art? Do you look at their stuff and go like, man, I don't even like daisies, but that daisy is beautiful. I want to be tattooed by them because they put out stuff that makes me feel a certain way. That's essentially what art is supposed to do, is evoke emotions, invoke thoughts, invoke feelings, all that kind of stuff. And that same thing goes for your tattoo artist too. I think you should find somebody whose art you're drawn to. It doesn't mean, oh, they're a Gothic artist, which is why I go to them. You could want something that's hot pink, but you want it to be done by them because of what their art makes you feel.
And something else that a lot of people who are new to getting tattoos don't really know about is the healing process.
Yes.
What would you say are the worst things to do during the healing process?
Pick at it. People get impatient and they just like, if their skin gets scabby or anything like that, they want to pick at it or mess with it. A tattoo is a beautiful wound, essentially, and it is a trauma on the skin. And so people forget that you have to nourish it and take care of it like you would a wound. And the beauty comes after, right? It's going to get a little ugly before it smooths out and gets pretty. It's something that you have to like be mindful of and take care of.
And then finally, where can people find you on, like social media?
Me?
Yeah.
The best way is probably on the Instagram. I do get some people that follow me on the TikTok. I honestly started doing that like more for funsies. But yeah, I would say Instagram is probably the easiest way to like find and communicate.
All right, perfect. Do you have any closing thoughts on getting a first tattoo?
Honestly, I say for getting your first tattoo, just make sure that it's something that you want. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something like sentimental per se, but just make sure it's something that you have a story with. Like again, I'm a little older and I can tell you where I was and what I was doing for all of my tattoos, even the stupid ones. And one of my favorite tattoos, honestly, is one of the dumbest ones that I have. 15 years ago, the center of the lower back, also known as a tramp stamp, was like a big deal. And I thought to myself, while everybody else was getting like really pretty flowers and girly things and all this stuff, I thought to myself, what is the trashiest thing I could think of? So I have literally 2 mud flap girls back to back in the center of my back. And I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse or not, but it's fucking hilarious. And I still love that tattoo to this day because it was exactly what I wanted. It was what I wanted to accomplish with it, and I still love it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that sentimental, like, oh, does it mean something to you? What is that going to look like in 20 million years? Or, whatever the case may be. But make sure it's what you want. And if your goal is to be stupid and to be silly, if your goal is to be spontaneous, if your goal is to go, visit, get a tattoo at every state that you've been to or whatever the case may be, just make sure it's what you actually want. Simple enough.
That was perfect.